The greatest con game ever played, and we can thank Facebook and Twitter as part of the blame. What's up, everybody? Welcome aboard, back from Vegas, and nothing changed. Everything's still the same. Gone for a week and nothing has changed. And here we are, still having the ultimate battle for the White House. Again, as we have said for the last, I don't know, whatever it is that we recognize that it will probably not be President Trump being at the inauguration, but it will be President-elect Biden. But it is interesting how suddenly the Facebooks and the Twitters of the world are going back to their normal media and not screening posts and tweets and retweets. Well, I don't know. What does that tell you? It does tell you that we just participated in one of the biggest, greatest cons ever, okay, as the media was able to brainwash everybody, and not only brainwash them on the election, but to potentially brainwash them on the result. I mean, if you really believe that there was no funny business going on in this election, well, then either you have lost your mind or you hate to admit reality, because there's always been funny things in almost every election that I can remember. So, again, I am not saying that that was a difference here. I'm just making a very simple and clear statement that it has been going on forever, and the deep state is in full control, which is the way they like it, because they get to steal our money. And we've now got, of course, some more money printing, just what we need so we can pay some more taxes and continue to hide the inflation that they tell us we don't have. Well, when they make you $1 worth less and you're paying the same price for product, I don't know, that would kind of look like inflation to me. Maybe, I don't know, but that's the way I would look at it. But of course, Facebook and Twitter have reverted back to normal policies. And, why not? I mean, the election is over. They've done their damage. They stopped free speech for months so that the president couldn't communicate his message. It didn't have to be the president. That nobody's conservative opinion could be heard. But, hey, let's make sure that we turn the United States of America into the new Venezuela. Okay, as the stimulus battle wages on, and as I just came back from Las Vegas, another lefty state, well, guess what? They were busy, they were open, and of course, the governor there knows that there would be a massive revolt if they tried to shut it down again. You've already got a massive problem in that state with nobody working. And, with the casinos operating, actually the downtown casinos were very busy. The Red Rock was very busy. But interesting enough, we had the max that we were allowed to have at our seminar, and it was a tremendous seminar. We also live streamed it. But again, this is a battle for money. I understand how bad the pandemic is. I just wish that the numbers that we were reported were real. Okay. Again, I know it's a serious disease. I am not at all taking away from the disease, but it would be nice to know what the exact real numbers are, because of course this is a battle for money. The hospitals get more money for declaring COVID cases. This was about winning an election and everything else. So it would be nice to once have the real numbers so we can actually put real statistics together so that we can really understand the seriousness of it. Yes, there's been over 1 million deaths. Yes, there's so many cases. But if we took people's temperature every single day and automatically would not let them in if they were running a fever, a lot of people wouldn't be going to work half the time anyways. Now, I don't know about you, but I never missed a day of work in my life for being sick. So I would assure you that some of those days I did have a fever. But again, we're not talking about that. We're talking about the overall freedom in America. Okay. We're talking about the mistreatment. Okay. Now you can not have liked the president. Okay. Again, I'm not saying he was the greatest person in the world, but he was, in my opinion, the best president. But, when the deep state takes over, just like that Joe Barr, okay, who did not report to Hunter Biden and get involved with it before. Now, we know that was a criminal act that happened. There is no doubt about it. Okay, but yet it was avoided. Now, I guarantee you, if that was anybody's in the president's family, there would have been massive coverage. There would have been massive outrage. So I only ask you, where is the outrage for the non-reporting? So I guess we understand that the left can do whatever they want. They can steal, they can pillage, they can thieve, but it doesn't matter. I guess that's what the message that we're sending, that we are not all equal. Okay? And of course, certainly have a conversation with somebody on the other side of the aisle, and you can never be right. So again, fortunately, I'm in the center, okay? But of course, the center keeps moving as the left wants to go farther and farther in that direction and take away more and more of your freedom. But hey, listen, what the hell? But where was Barr when he was needed? Why wasn't this reported? You think it just came out yesterday? Like we didn't know about this for months? Okay? Here we are, back in the arms of OPEC, okay? And what do you think they're going to do? Okay, why do you think oil is up near $50 a barrel now? Okay? You don't think that we could produce it here? But of course, obviously, the Green New Deal, let's make sure that the Americans get it stuck up their ass. Okay? Let's make sure OPEC gets back in control of oil so that they can manipulate us. Of course, that would allow the deep state and those friendly politicians and lobbyists who get to scam and skim off some of that cash, okay, that of course we get to pay. That is the beautiful part about it. We get to pay for all the bull and nonsense that gets pushed around. And of course, China, they'll be thrilled as well, as they will get back over the upper hand. Okay, as you want to talk about, what's going to happen here. I have not heard a good thing yet that is going to happen. Okay, and I can see all of the bad that's going to be going on here. It does not bode well. Okay, other than if you like cheap money, which we're going to continue to see. Because how else do you think they're going to fund some of this? They wouldn't want to federally put a gambling package out and marijuana stocks out and federally legalize it all so that we could actually eat into some of this debt that is being created. And stimulus packages, my God, well, if Georgia goes to the left, stimulus packages will be huge. Digital currency will be around the corner. And you will never have another freedom, okay? They will know wherever you went because every dollar, when they do go to a digital currency, and you can bet your ass it'll happen sooner than later, especially if it goes all left here, that you won't, there's not a secret you'll have from anybody from a dollar standpoint, okay? It will be everything you do for the rest of your life will be monitored by your favorite Uncle Sam, Okay, but what would happen if the Fed did not exist? Well, I'd be a hell of a lot happier guy. I'll tell you that. Okay, but in my opinion, the Fed is worthless. They're brilliant people, but they have no common sense. They are willing to sacrifice everything, all in the hopes to avoid the unavoidable. Does anybody really think that recessions are not going to happen again? If you do, then again, you're probably living in Pluto. You have no idea where you're at. This is just prolonging. Building a bigger bubble does not prevent a market meltdown. We've already experienced it. How many times since the massive bubble builder started this whole garbage programs of Alan Greenspan, the so-called genius of the world, okay, who all he was a genius at is creating a bubble. Anybody can create a bubble, okay? Why don't we, the American citizens, just continue to borrow and borrow and borrow and not pay either? Okay, then we can get everything for free. Of course, we would be in jail or in bankruptcy court. So it's a wonderful situation to be in when the people that are spending your money have no budget, and the people who make the money have to worry about everything, and let alone now higher taxes again. So let's celebrate the fact that the Fed's going to do more stimulus, so we can pay more of our hard-earned income, okay, for garbage. I mean, that's the thing that I look at when I watch this, okay? So the Fed, as far as I'm concerned, could be gone. And now, of course, now they want to maybe waive all student debt. Oh, great. Let me get my $500,000 back that I paid, okay? I mean, this is going to be, I will say that if the student debt gets waived, the revolution might get here faster. This is ridiculous that there's even such talk of waiving the monetary obligations that many had to pay. Okay, because again, I am not going to be a happy camper. I already paid. Okay? And I'm sure anybody who already paid for education is not going to be happy should the overall debt get waived, because what kind of bull is that? I mean, that's just, to me, that's almost a criminal action. And of course, the hot stocks and sectors remain biotech and Bitcoin. Look what's going on there. And you had the old classic though last week. You had the buy the rumor, sell the news in Moderna, for example. Moderna, after getting their second approval, the stock got crumbled. That lost about almost 20% from the recent highs. So this is why we tell you, if you trade the news, you lose. And of course, we'll talk more about Bitcoin in our market segment. But in this segment, of course, the Bitcoin was whatchamacallit. The Bitcoin is a threat to the Federal Reserve. It's a threat to their way of life, and that is giving them some great concern. And they're trying to slap some regulations, which I don't think they're going to be able to do. I think that's always going to be this is going to play out as a very interesting story, because when you're dealing in the dark, how do they expect to regulate? Okay, how do they expect to take control when it's non-centralized, it's all over the place, and we're all carrying our wallets, basically in the cyberspace. So, we'll see what it looks like. But when I tell you that they're hot, and we told you, we said that they could get hot. In the meantime, this is Bubba's Bottom Line, back from Vegas. It is Sunday, December the 20th, Christmas Friday. Wow. We're going to step out for a break, and we'll be right back with our market segment after the break. Bubba's Bottom Line. Well, kids, First of all, yesterday we did a great webinar on our equity portfolios right before they go into full automation. And this is your last chance to get in at our normal price before we add in the price of full automation, which will be official January 1st. But it is working great right now. We introduced it in Vegas, and it was a big hit. In the meantime, don't forget about our partners. First of all, family farms. What a great organization. They got great people. They've got the same interests we do, which is to help the American farmers. Okay, because again, farmers get screwed by more because they're busy doing their job, and I could never stand that. And it's about me I want to get out there and educate them and help them help themselves. Okay, and of course, we've got brokerage partners. Now, again, in full disclosure, I have other brokerage accounts other than ones that I'm mentioning here, but the ones we prefer for commodities and futures, it's the CTG group. First thing, I have all my accounts with them, and they let them direct almost all my accounts. Why? Because they do a phenomenal job. They've got great customer service. They're the only authorized dealer of my proprietary algorithms because they do their job. They take care of my members. They help them open their accounts. They do anything that's needed. They are on your side. And of course, the same in equities and futures, equities and options, is Tradier. Now, the first thing is $10 a month. Okay? Look, I don't care where you broker. I'm just offering you a better way. That's just, you can go wherever you want. Okay? But at $10 a month, how can you pass it up? Now, the only broker that will have full automation will be Tradier. Okay? When we wanted the APIs from others, nobody wanted to give them to us. So I'm not going to go back to them now that we're expanding and give them to them. Screw it. I'm a fan of loyalty. And, before we got them, Tradier, it was there to let them use us. So, but again, you broker where you want. You can get the signals, but if you want the automatic trading, it will have to be through Tradier. And our commodity report, the quarterlies are coming up, and I'm going to tell you, those are phenomenal. Okay. Technomental, if you want to check out for another week, I'm going to offer last week's report. You can check it out. Email me at bubba@bubbatrading.com. I'll be more than happy to send you last week's copy. And of course, that is written by Andy Hecht. Just read about it. You can see him in Seeking Alpha, 3-4 articles a day. But in the meantime, don't forget about our high school program either, as we try to get it up and running, going into the second half of the year, or the new year, right? Not the second half of the year, but the new year. Anyways, if you want to help us out, it is at Patreon, patreon.com/Bubba Trading. That is patreon.com/Bubba Trading. Now let's get back to Bubba's Bottom Line and my market update. Welcome back. It is Bubba's Bottom Line. It is Sunday, March. I'd like to be March. December the 20th, 5 days from Christmas. And of course, this is being brought to you by the CTG Group, our preferred equity, futures and commodities broker, the one who trades for me as well. And of course, I do have other brokers. I always have to give disclosure, but I do prefer them. I allow them to trade my accounts. They've got some new great managed futures products. So check them out. See what you think. Look, again, you can trade my stuff anywhere. Just I try to find what I believe are the best people to deal with. Okay. In the meantime, markets are going higher. That's what we keep saying. Russell up 7 weeks in a row now. Now, I would suspect there'll be some selling, maybe this week, maybe next. I don't know. Again, I don't predict when, but 7 weeks in a row straight up in what looked at a blow off last week for the week. I would expect to see a little bit of a pullback in the markets in general, especially in the Russell. Remember, it used to be the weakest. Now it's the strongest. But overall, look, we're long. We're still long, and we ain't getting out now. So, we're in pretty good shape, I would say. And I don't see any reason that that's going to change now. The more free money, the more likely the market is going to continue to go higher. So why should I try to get out? We will when our signals change. Remember, I only trade when the signal changes. I have no interest in trying to outsmart what we already do. Okay. And of course, we are now long the metals across the board. And they're starting to look much better. They did turn. Silver had a big week at the end of the week last week and pushed harder. Gold is trying to make a run at 1900. Platinum looks solid, and we are long all three. We made money on the short side on all three. Now, obviously, we just gave back some on the way back up, but that's how we trade anyway, so it's all good. And now we look for a continued rally. And interestingly enough, this being a slow time of the year for metals, they're awfully strong suddenly. So we'll see. Look, if they don't keep going, they turn around, we'll be back on the other side. Crude oil, another big up week. As you know, I hate crude. I hate being long it, but should I not take the money and be stubborn, or should I just take the money? I think I'll take the money. I mean, it's going up, and of course, again, I said earlier today, the OPEC situation can only drive prices higher. Copper, I mean, it's amazing. We talk about it every Monday night with Andy. Jeez Louise. I mean, it's at, I think, 4 or 5 year highs now. Okay. So what does that tell you? We have a bad economy. We've got no jobs. Housing is unbelievably strong. And copper is going to the moon. Now, eventually it'll find a level, but right now it's still going higher. Net gas is kind of flattish. Okay, we're still short. The dollar is getting smushed. Okay, as we said, every failure, we're now in the high 89 levels. Okay, and I guess we're going to 88, which was the low of a few years ago. Look, you keep printing money, you keep devaluing the dollar. That is how you skirt and hide the inflation that they keep looking for while trying to fund money. Now, we know that stimulus does not create jobs. Stimulus does not create growth. Right? So it's a ridiculous idea showing you the lack of common sense that the Federal Reserve has. And the grain markets, you know, every day I'm on RFD TV, I say, they're just buying opportunities. And sure enough, we're along all three, corn, wheat, and soybeans. And wheat is still fighting, but it's back over $6. But corn and soybeans exploded last week late and closed on new highs once again. I mean, should I expect different? I think they're going higher yet. I don't, look, there's nothing that would tell me that they're not going to continue to go higher. You take a look at some of the things that are going on globally with dollars, with money, and weather, and we're getting the perfect scenario right now. Now, again, there's never a moment that we're ever, passive or sitting on. We check the signals every day. But as long as they're going up, what else is there to do? And of course, cattle, the meats, cattle and hogs, fats and feeders continue to kind of churn, and hogs, they're all kind of winding in these very tight ranges, getting ready for some pretty big moves. Okay, we're long, so I think that, at the end of the day, I think we look for a rally. I think we look for much higher prices. If you look at it now, I'm not a fundamental kind of person, but technically they're long. And if you look at the situation, when this whole virus thing settles out, when we get the economy back open and full, it can only be good for these products as well. Now, will it end up being a buy the rumor, sell the news type of item? It might be. But for right now, we're still going up. And the softs were mixed. Cotton has been strong. We're still long. Coffee has been okay, and we're still long. Sugar's been weak, we're short. Cocoa has been weak, and we're short. And OJ has been kind of turning back and forth. Right now, we're still short. So our positions are our positions. And of course, as we mentioned to you the last couple of weeks, cryptos were starting to take off. Now, cryptos are an argument against central banking. Libertarians are very into the crypto space. Now, obviously, from a pure technical spot, somebody asked me last week, to me, this looks like a blow-up. Now, I personally do not trade the crypto space and will not do so until, they get options and they get a couple of more products on the exchanges. Now, I do own some, But I only own, and I always give full disclosure, I only own what I'm willing to go to zero with. I own very little Bitcoin. I own some Ethereum, some Litecoin, and a couple of the others. But basically, I'm searching and gambling, looking for the next Bitcoin. Okay, I missed that boat. I mean, I got a little bit, but I don't have nothing to worry about. But my point is, if they go to zero tomorrow, I won't lose 1 minute of sleep thinking about it. But I do believe that the space is real. Again, this is more of a libertarian angle, okay, because we believe in conservative government and, not necessarily liberal views, but views personal. You should be able to do what you want, obviously within the law. But there should not be laws for other things, obviously, except for the obvious. So overall, I think the crypto space is real. I think it's here to stay. I think that as the bigger they get, as we saw last week, governments are trying to step in. Now, I don't know how they think they're going to control them. And especially because of the way that it can be transferred with nobody knowing anything. But we'll see. Again, you never know, but typically this looks like a battle that the governments and the central banks are not going to win. Now, listen, I don't know of anything for factual, but they do look good. But I am not a buyer of Bitcoin at these levels. I would look for a pullback. And as I said, I'm basically gambling on some other stuff. And this is just pure gambling money that if this stuff breaks down and goes to zero, so be it. Okay, it's not an investment. It's not a replacement for gold. It's not a hard asset. I still have some uneasy feelings about the whole thing. But again, why shouldn't I take a chance at something that looks like it has a real potential to pay off? Okay, going forward, traders, this is usually the time of year that floor traders are done. Okay, if I was still on the floor, I am done for the year now. Yes, Friday's triple witching cycle ended it, okay, for the year. But there might be something, but it's already been quiet and a lack of liquidity to begin with. So my words to you are just be careful, okay? I don't think there's going to be much to do. The markets are still certainly leaning upwards. I would expect a 1 or 2 day sell-off to shake out the weak hands. But other than that, I think it'll be quiet till after the first year. Remember, Thursday is Christmas Eve, obviously Friday Christmas. The following week, Thursday. So you really only got 2 3-day weeks into holidays. So we'll see how it all plays out. In the meantime, this is Bubba's Bottom Line, Todd Bob Horwitz on December the 20th. And we're going to step out of a break and come back with my commentary and, of course, my football pick right after the break. Bubba's Bottom Line. So everybody, again, we talk about, the people that we like to be in business with. And, our brokerage, we have other brokers, just to be full disclosure. But Trader, there is nothing like them. Okay, again, I ask you the same question. Why would you want to pay more than $10 a month? But again, that is entirely up to you. I don't care where you go. I just want you to save money. But we will be fully automated with our products, and they'll still only be $10 a month with Trader. It'll be our membership fee plus their $10 a month for all of your commissions. So, hey, up to you. It is your decision. I have nothing to do with it. I just want to make you aware. And of course, Family Farms, what a great organization. I talked a lot about them in Vegas because I had a lot of farmers at the event. But they are very, very good and we're like-minded that we want to help. So Family Farms, and I can't wait to get on the road and hang out with them for a while. And I hope we get their event live next year. It's scheduled for live, but I think it's going to get virtual. And of course, our commodity report, Andy Hecht, what a job he does. I mean, again, I will offer you a look at the last the last issues. If you'd like to see them, you can certainly email me at bubba@bubbatrade.com. And, we did a webinar yesterday on our equity portfolio models that are doing very well. If you'd like to take a look at it, I can send you the recording, bubba@bubbatrade.com. In the meantime, let's get back to Bubba's Bottom Line, my commentary, and of course, my football pick. How could you miss that? Welcome back. This is Bubba's Bottom Line. It is Todd Bubba Horowitz, and it's, my little commentary piece that I always do. And, I had really no intention of really speaking anything political today, but somebody really lit my box yesterday, and said, I don't want to hear your opinion, and I say to you, look, you don't have to hear my opinion. Don't watch. Don't listen. Okay, I don't care if you do or you don't. Okay, this is not a profit center for me. Okay, this is something I do so I can help my members and create and get them market updates during the week and express my views as I see them. Okay, so if you don't like my opinion, nobody is telling you to sit here and watch. But that is one of the problems in this country, that even friends of mine that are on the other side of this election, if you don't agree with them, they're relentless and won't leave you alone. Now, I'm perfectly comfortable of going out to dinner with a friend of mine who voted for Biden. I don't care who you voted for. I told you before, if you remember, I said, just go vote. I didn't care who you voted for. And I'm perfectly willing to go out and have a conversation and have a nice dinner and relax. But, you have your opinion and I get mine. This is not one-sided. But of course, the way things are going, it soon will be one-sided, which is pretty scary. Okay. Now, again, I'm not scared for myself. Hell, I'm old. I won't be here when all this really blows up. Okay. But I am scared for my kids, your kids. Okay. I want my kids to live in the same environment that I was able to live in. But certainly, over the last 20 years, it continues to get worse. And we continue to give up freedom. And I ain't giving up my freedom of speech. You can give up the right to listen, but I'm not giving up my speech. So if you don't like what I have to say, don't listen. It's that simple. I don't care one way or the other. You're not doing me a favor by watching. Okay, I give you an honest account of what I think. Same thing when I'm on financial TV. I'm not like the other guys that'll make up something because the host wants me to be something out of ordinary. I'm going to say exactly what I think and exactly what my positions are, as I do every day. So, hey, America for now is still free, and I can still voice my opinion, and this is my channel, and I will voice it here. So, you like it, great. You don't like it, sure, you can certainly send me a comment, but you think I'm going to stop because you get mad at me, you better check again. In the meantime, this is Bubba's Bottom Line, and of course, tonight is, what a game. How did he get second with this? The New York Giants and the Cleveland Indians. My God, Magnum, the Giants have been playing better, but why couldn't they have flexed out of this dog game? Okay. In the meantime, I wouldn't even know what to bet. I would have to say that the Giants are really bad, and whether Colt McCoy or Jones plays quarterback, they were really hot and they had a nice run, but they look so awful overall. And I don't know, Cleveland just seems like a better team, but I wouldn't get excited one way or the other, but I will end up probably with a slice of pizza or so on the Cleveland Cleveland Browns. I couldn't remember which one of the Clevelands I was talking about because some of them are changing their names. In the meantime, have a great weekend, everybody. And of course, we'll see you tomorrow with our daily update. But if I don't see you, have a very Merry Christmas. As always, your time is appreciated for watching. Your opinions are welcome. But remember, we are free. We both get opinions. Have a great weekend, everybody. Enjoy yourself and have a great week and very Merry Christmas. And I hope all of you had a happy Hanukkah for those who celebrate. We'll see you next Sunday with Bubba's Bottom Line. And of course, Monday through Thursday this week with the updates. As the cards last week, I told you I might have trouble. It was just too hard for me to get them done. But I will be back tomorrow and we'll be back to normal. Have a great week, everybody. We'll see you later.